Okay, I'm back. I was telling you the history about Island Park a little bit, and I've done this before in my previous videos, but since I was talking about it, I thought I would just walk over here and show you this. Chautauquas and Winfield from 1887 to 1924. Chautauquas provided education, entertainment, inspiration, and social opportunities at Island Park in the form of lectures, classes, concerts, and dramas. 9 permanent structures were built for these summer programs, and as you can see, what I was saying about only being halfway around, well, there's a tabernacle in the middle, there's a driveway, and tinning and the other sites were on this side, and then actually, yeah, see the driveway, the drive only went to the tabernacle. Now that doesn't mean you couldn't walk around the rest of it, but I don't believe at that time that you actually drove all the way around it. That's what I was saying. There's a lecture hall, Boys and Girls Club, dining hall, and some other buildings. Refreshment stand, restrooms, and just some other buildings. But that's what it looked like. And of course, tinning, and 230 sites for tinning on this side here. And then there was a driveway, there was a tabernacle, had 3,000 capacity and 500 on stage. It was a huge tabernacle. But that's the way it looked back in the day. And I know I've done this before in previous videos, but I know I was talking about earlier, so I just thought I'd show you what I was talking about. What I meant by going halfway around was that this tinning side you couldn't drive. See, this was just all for tinning. And of course here was the main road, and then all this was buildings, and you just couldn't drive all the way around it at that side. And there's Timber Creek over there. Now that's what I was talking about on the Timber Creek. Okay. But, and I'm going to show you that here in just a minute, that may have been a pretty good creek at one time, but it's just not hardly anything there anymore. But anyway, that's what I was talking about earlier. I just wanted to kind of verify what I was talking about earlier, so I wouldn't get anything wrong or mixed up. That's actually the bathroom. It's like a little cottage. And I've showed all this before in previous videos. But I think we'll go over there, and we might walk around the Timber Creek Nature Center for just a little bit. Depends on how dark it is down in there this morning. And this, I know I've shown all this before in other videos, but this is actually a peace garden area in here. And I wanted to show you this before, like I said, fall's going to be getting here and winter and everything. So this is what it looks like. And then when you get in there, there's little stools that you can sit on. And there's an emblem in the middle. I'll show you here in just a minute. Let's walk in there, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You see here's on the inside, what it looks like on the inside of this peace garden area. Here's the benches. And then around here right in the middle is the white dove. Oh, sorry about that. Got my finger in the way. And see, you just got it's just got peace in different languages, as you can see. And then here's just kind of panning around here for you. It's really very pretty. It really is. And it says Winfield Gardeners, founded 1957. And then here's a quote from Psalm 85. Let me hear what God, oh, let me get this. The Lord will speak, for he will speak peace to his people. Oh, so I'm so sorry about that. I'm trying to get this out of the way. to his people who turn to him in their hearts. Sorry about that. Anyway, I wanted to show. I was just trying to get this out of the way so you could see it. Didn't mean to get my finger in the way again, like I do a lot of times. Yep. Well, anyway, that's the Peace Garden. I will say one thing. The City of Winfield has really kept up and maintained Island Park, putting in new sidewalks, redoing the roads all the time, putting in just better lighting, you know, planting new trees. They have really kept it nice down here. They've done a tremendous job keeping this a nice park. Of course, there's their playground. The kids, of course. We're going to cross the bridge here and get over to the Timber Creek Nature Center. I've done quite a few videos about Island Park. And actually, here in Winfield, down on 14th Street Bridge area, they used to hold Chautauquas down there as well. I've seen old pictures in the early 1900s of people swimming, boating, picnicking. The people in their authentic, or the swimsuits at that time that they wore. And actually, if you go down 14th Street, you can actually see where the old trolley tracks used to be, where the asphalts give way, of course. And we're looking on either side of the lagoon here at Island Park. There's just where we came from, around that way. Now we're going to go back around this way. And again, like I said earlier in the video, it just seems like when it's cloudy, it just brings that green out. Of course, the sun tried to come out. Even seen some blue sky just a little bit ago. But I think it's kind of got cloudy again. I used to come down here as a kid before it was the Timber Creek Nature Center. And of course, it wasn't anything like it is today. There was no paths to walk on or anything of that nature down here. I've been coming down here, like I said, even when I was a kid, I used to come down here all the time. We might go down here a little ways. This has several walking paths that you can take down through here. It depends on how long you want to walk or how far you want to walk. I think I've walked all the paths down here at one time or another. Very pretty down here this morning. Now this one's going to show you, it looks like at one time there was a creek down here. But as you can tell, or hopefully you can tell in the video, there's just nothing here anymore. I mean, it's just gone. I mean, there's a tiny remnant of some water down there. But see how trees have fallen down in it, and trees are just about taking it over. I guess what I'm trying to say. Just a lot of foliage. It's so thick you can barely see where the creek. But I'm thinking, back in the day, this might have been a pretty good sized creek, as far as that goes. But it's just pretty much gone. They've made some other improvements. They put signs up depicting the different kinds of trees and that sort of thing. And then they're describing a wetland up here. It says wetland. What is a wetland? It is an area with soil that is covered or saturated with water either all of the year or for varying periods of time during the year that includes a growing season. This is other names for wetland are marsh, swamp, bog, bayou, and fen, among others. Once considered to have limited value to human existence, wetlands were drained and filled in across the nation to the point that they are one of the most endangered ecosystems in the United States and the world. Now, you know, that may be what this was a wetland area. It may not have been a creek. This was way before my time, if it was. I don't remember really anything like that being down here. So maybe it was at one time. I don't know. But there's just not much left of it from what I can see. I'm no expert by any means. I'm just going by what I'm seeing. See, there's a path that goes off that way. If you go that way, you just wind up right back where we came, which is that's one of the shorter paths. And then, of course, you go on this way. It's not all that muddy down here. Because it's so dense down here, the sun really can't get down here very good. As you can tell, it's really dense down here. And it's just harder for this ground to dry once it does get wet. It's very thick, very dense down here. Of course, it always has been, as far back as I can remember. And I used to walk down here as a kid before they had the walking paths. And then, of course, it branches off. You can either go that way around, and if you go that way around, you'll end up back at the dike area. Now, I'm going to show you something. I know I've talked about this before, but I won't really be able to do a video down here until this fall or even winter when all the leaves and everything are gone. It's just really hard to see down here. But, and all I'm saying is, there are concrete supports down here. And these supports had to be for something, some kind of a bridge. Now that's all I'm saying because I don't know. And I don't want to really say anything that's not accurate. I've tried to do some research about this and I can't find anything. Not as of yet. I still, you know, something that I'm working on. And I'll see it's a little bit more muddier down in here because as you can tell, oh, sorry about that again, being my finger. It's just real thick, real dense down here. Okay, now what I'm going to show you is there are actually 3 of these, and they are but they're half rock and part concrete, if I want to be accurate. But these were made to hold up something, some kind of a bridge. Or trestle. These might be railroad trestles. There may have been a railroad that went through here at one time. The only problem with that is I see no, on the other side of this, on the other side of the dike, there's no evidence whatsoever of it being a former, like a railroad track or anything. No evidence whatsoever. So that's kind of a mystery to me. But as you can tell, this is definitely, it's like half to 3/4 rock, and then the rest of it's concrete, as you can tell. This might have been a trestle. It may have been a support for just a regular road, a bridge of some sort back in the day. But other than that, I just really don't know. Now see, if you look through there, you can see the second one, barely. But there's a second one down there, and I don't really want to go down in there. But you can see there's another support or trestle right there. Then there's another one on the other side of that one. This fall or winter, I'll come down here when you can really get a better look. Let me get through here, maybe. I doubt it though, because see how thick all that is through there? You just can't see these concrete rock supports, trestles, whatever they may be. You just can't see them. There's just too much greenery, foliage, trees, whatever you want to call it. But this path, I'll show you where it goes. Kind of take a little climb here. Now see, it's really getting muddy along in here. And you kind of walk up this little hill and then you just keep going. I think, I'm not sure, but I think at one time there was a mill down here. Some kind of a mill was down here. I've been down here many, many, many times in my lifetime, and it just appears that there was some kind of a mill down here at one time. There used to be a man here in Winfield by the name of Baden. He was an entrepreneur, meaning he had several different businesses or companies here in Winfield. One of those, I do believe, was a flour mill. They made flour here in Winfield, and he also had a lumber yard, a lumber business here in Winfield. Had a beautiful home here in Winfield, of course. Very wealthy individual. That's what the old St. John's College here in Winfield, they turned those into apartments, and they named it Baden Square. They are apartments for the elderly or handicapped or whatever the case may be. That was named after him, Baden Square. I do know that much. And this tree branch always fascinated me, the way it just fell and just kind of curved right along. You can see how long it goes way down there. It's very pretty down here, though. It is. I've never had any trouble with too much wildlife. I've seen some deer down here before. But as far as snakes or anything like that goes, I've never seen any snakes. Not that they're not down here. I've just never seen them. Thank goodness. If I ever did, I probably would never come down here again. I don't like snakes at all, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I just don't care. I don't care how little they are or how harmless they are. I do not like snakes at all, period. Not too fond of spiders either, but at any rate. You know, Baden's not the only entrepreneur that lived here in Winfield. There was a man by the name of Sonner, and he had a burner company. In fact, the building's still there. It's on 6th Street, where he made burners. They made burners. And he actually had they named, he actually had they named the football stadium up at the Southwestern College Sonner Stadium after Sonner. And he also had a motel. It's still there. It's called the Sonner Motel. But he was another entrepreneur here in Winfield that had more than one business. And of course, all this has been a very, very long time ago. There's a little tiny path that goes off down that way, but I've never went down there, and I'm not going to go down there right now. But anyway, we're going to continue on. There's also a nature center outside of Ark City called Chaplin Nature Center. And it's, I can't remember, 10 miles or so maybe west of Ark City. And it's very, very nice. We have walked it many, many times. That's also where they have the Eagle Watch every winter, usually January, down by the river. There's an Eagle Watch. We've been to that before. If you love eagles, this is a place to go, but usually it's in January. Their prime time to be in this area is in the winter months. January, I think more specifically, because after that, you know, they move on. But we've been there at least once and done the Eagle Watch. This is so secluded. You would think you was miles away from anything, and you're not. We're just right on the other side of Island Park. But that's what it appears. It just looks like we're just out here in the middle of nowhere. For those of you that may not be from this area, Island Park is at the northern end of Main Street here in Winfield. If you drive in from the north going south, when you enter Winfield, it'll be the first thing you'll come across is Island Park. They also have Isle of Lights every Christmas season, where they string lights up all over, and all kinds of animated things, you know, all lit up, and it's really cool, really cool. And it's free, don't cost anything. They take donations. It's called Isle of Lights at Island Park. Been doing it now for quite a few years. I'm going to kind of walk down this way just a little bit. Maybe I can show you something down here. This may not be the right spot. No, this is not the right one. I'm going to walk on down. I got something I want to show you here in just a little bit. I've been down here actually for quite a while. It's been too hot. Let's go down this little path here and see what we got. This may be the area I was going to show you. We're pretty deep inside of the Timber Creek Nature Center right now. Okay, this is it. This is what I was going to show you. Boy, it is really muddy down here. Now, the reason why I say there was something down here at one time. Okay, see, this is what I was going to show you down here. This is concrete. You see that? Now you got to understand, we are just in the thick of this Timber Creek Nature area. And then look at this. Broken up, it appears to be broken up concrete, And then if you go over here, there's another piece over here. This looks like this was a road at one time. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what it looks like. And then if you look over there, that slab, that looks like a concrete slab. Somebody's put a plank up there to walk across. I've been over here before and looked around. But what if this, because this is concrete here I'm standing on. This is concrete. This looks like it might have been some kind of a, maybe it wasn't a road. Maybe it was a some other structure they had built down here for something. If there was a mill down here, this might have been built for another reason or purpose. But there's concrete down here, definitely concrete. And I was going to show you something else too here in just in a minute. Okay, made it to the other side. I want to show you something else too over here. This is really dicey along in here. There's a, see, this is concrete. Again, this is concrete. And that's just where I came from, over there. Now I want to show you something else. There's a big old spider web. Okay, I was going to show you something else. You can't see it because of the tree limbs, but there's a iron, like a cover. And see the concrete? See the concrete wall? And see the concrete base? And I wish I could show that to you, but there's just too much. I can't get over there to show you. Okay, there it is. You see it? There you go. See that? That's about the best I can get. There's some sort of a cover. A metal plate cover covering a hole. And then there's the, this is all concrete. I'm telling you, there had to be something down here at one time. And it may have been part of that mill. Now, you can go on over. Matter of fact, I could go on over. And I'm kind of betwixt and between here. I might just go ahead and go on over. But let me see if I can get up here just one more time and show you this. Man. Huh. Oh, sorry. This is crazy. That's about as good as I can get it right there. Yeah, there was something down here at one time. This may have been part of the mill at one time. Let me see if I can go up this way. I've been over here before. Okay, I walked on over. Look at there. That's even a better view. Look at there. You can see that real good. See it? There's two of them. A little one and then a bigger one. Yeah, there had to be something down here at one time. Because all this wouldn't have been built for nothing. Boy. Okay, now you want to see something really cool? This is an old car carcass, a frame. And it's been down here for as long as I can remember. This was a car, a vehicle at one time. It's just the body. I mean, there's nothing else. See, there's the front windshield. That's where the engine would have been. There's where the doors would have been. There's the back of the car. There's the wheel well right there. This was an actual car. Now, how in the ever-loving world did a car get down here? See, that's what I'm saying. There's just a lot of mysteries about this area down here. I do know there's been numerous floods down in here before, and I don't know if it's because of a flood or what. But I wanted to show you that. I've been wanting to show you that for a long time. I think I'm going to get back out here on the main path again. Yeah, this is where oh, I gotta go back the other way. You know what I might do? Okay, I am back on top of the dike again, and that's just where I submerged from the very belly or depths of this place. This just walks on around to the back part of Irving School, and then it goes on around. And anyway, I tell you what, that's crazy. Well, the breeze sure feels good up there. There's no breeze down there. So we're actually walking along the dike area again. Okay, I know I'm a little out of breath, but I had to climb a hill. Because once you cross that point, I showed you where all the concrete structures was. Once you cross that point, unless you want to go back, you have to come back up here. And I didn't want to traverse that all again. Anyway, we're back here on top of the... Now I'm going to show you something else while I'm up here. Check this out. That is concrete. That's concrete. All along here. That's concrete. It just goes on and on and on. I know you can barely tell it. Now see, here's the depth. Now see, you can tell it better here. This is all concrete along in here. And it goes back quite a ways. Then you have to ask yourself, what is concrete doing up here? All overgrown with grass. Was this a wall at one time? Was it part of a structure at one time? Was this the foundation at one time? But that's definitely concrete. There was something up here at one time. The only thing I can think of it was that flour mill. And there's just a tiny, tiny remnant of it left. Now that concrete structure I showed you with the two manhole cover looking things, that might have been a spillway for excess water, maybe from the flour mill. Who knows? I most certainly do not know. But I know I've seen this for years and years and years and years. I've known that was there. It's kind of hard to get to. And it's not really, it's kind of off the beaten path, as they say. Most people would not go down that far. But I've been exploring this area, oh gosh, for many years. Now see, 4th Street is just right over, 4th Street's just right over there. But we're going to walk back towards to Island Park, actually. That's where we're going right now. And see if you can tell, if you can look down, that's down at the very bottom where the creek would have been. That's quite a drop. I wouldn't want to traverse that. That's just one thing about Island Park area that's a mystery. I could show you, there's lots more down here. Okay, I think I'm just going to show you a couple more things, and we're going to call it a day. I found this. Somebody engraved 11/15. I know you can't see this. 1944. There's actually a 1, there's a 9, and there's 2 4s. And then there's, again, concrete. Look. All along here, there's concrete. And it even goes over here. There's concrete over there. But somebody etched this in here for a reason. And I looked this date up on the web. And here, Winfield, 11/15/1944. I know you can't see it, but that's what it says. I've looked at this before. But there's 2 4s, 1944. 11/15, there's a 1, there's a 9. I know you can't see it. But somebody etched that in there for some reason. Now those other trestles or those other structures I was telling you about, they're right down through there, but you just can't see them right now. Now look, here's more concrete. Right here. Concrete all along here. Yeah, there was something up here. And somebody etched that in there. And like I said, I Googled this. I looked it up on the web. I could find nothing significant about 11/15 and 1944. Okay, guys. I think we're going to call it a day. It's a pretty long video. Almost 40 minutes long. So I think we're going to call it a day. Hope you enjoy these. Hope you have a nice Labor Day today. And you've had a nice weekend. Y'all have a nice day. And I'll see you on the next video. This is the old Silver Bullet signing up for now.